Interest is one of the most critical calculations you must understand, especially when you're handling your own money. One step, and instead of being a financially independent millionaire in Bali, you could find yourself sleeping on the streets. In this video, I will reveal to you the rule of 72, which enables you to understand interest and calculate it in seconds in your head. Since I was 11 years old, I have participated in every single mathematics competition in my country, and this enabled me to learn the nastiest calculation shortcuts that regular people are simply not taught. So in this video, I will tell you first what is interest, second, simple versus compound interest, and lastly, the one and only, the famous rule of 72. Wait, I know you want to skip straight to the rule of 72, but it is very important that you learn first two steps before learning the last. Let's start. Part 1. What is interest? In the money world, there are two kinds of people: the lenders and the borrowers. The lenders give you money and expect to get it back after some time, and then the borrowers take money from you and you expect them to give it back to you after some time. So the lenders give money to the borrowers, and after some time borrowers return the money back to the lenders. You may ask, well, why would I, as a lender, want to give money away for free? That's a valid question, and you are right, there is no reason. That's why the lenders came up with interest. It is the extra money borrowers give back to compensate for the time money was away from the lender. So let's say you give $1,000 to your friend with 10% interest for 1 year. So after a year, the friend will have to give you back the original $1,000 plus the interest, which in this case is 10% of 1,000, which is another $100. This means that in total your friend will return $1,100. This way, lenders get rewarded for saving and lending money, and borrowers cannot just infinitely borrow without any cost. Well, that sounds cool. How do I earn interest? Well, when you deposit money in your savings account, you essentially lend the money to the bank and the bank pays you interest. Or when you invest something like bonds, you essentially lend money to the company or the government and the company or government pays you interest. You may ask, well, how much would I earn? Good question. I will answer that in the next section. Part number 2, simple versus compound interest. There are two types of interest, the simple interest and the compound interest. Simple interest is when you calculate interest only on the starting money you invested. The formula is something like this: starting money times years and times 1 plus interest. And then compound interest is when you calculate the interest on the starting money and all the money you have already earned by that point. The formula is something like starting money times 1 plus interest to the power of time. You may say, well, the difference between those two couldn't be that big, right? Well, in 10 years, maybe there's not a lot of difference. $1,000 invested at 10% interest rate. In a simple interest is $2,000 and in compound interest is $2,500. However, let's look at 40 years. $5,000 versus $45,000. That's why it is very important that you understand the difference between those two. And that's why I said it could be the difference between you as a financially independent millionaire in Bali or as a struggling person on the streets. You might say, well, that's a lot of complicated math. And yes, it can be. That's why we have the rule of 72. Before we get to the rule of 72, if you like this video, then click subscribe so you get more of these videos. Part number 3, the rule of 72. The rule of 72 allows you to quickly calculate in how many years the money you invested will double when you use compound interest. The rule itself is very simple. You roughly divide 72 by the interest. For example, 10% interest, 72 divided by 10 is 7. Your money doubles every 7 years. 15% interest, 72 divided by 15 is 5, doubles every 5 years. And 24 is 72 divided by 24 is 3, doubles every 3 years. Now let's do some real life examples in our heads. So let's say you take a $10,000 loan for 10 years at 15% interest. So 72 divided by 15 is 5. That means that the loan you owe will double every 5 years. So after the first 5 years, you must return now not 10 but $20,000, and after 5 more years, you must return $40,000. That's crazy. Now the second example is you invest $100,000 for 36 years at 8% interest. 72 divided by 8 is 9. It takes 9 years to double your money with 8% interest. So that means after 9 years, you will have $200,000. After 18 years, you will have $400,000. After 27 years, you will have $800,000. And after 36 years, you will have $1,600,000. Just one little calculation trick can make you a millionaire or enslave you in debt. To recap, number 1, interest is the reward for saving and lending money. Number 2, compound interest is a beast compared to simple interest. And number 3, divide 72 by the compound interest rate and get in how many years the money will double. Do this and you will sound like a financial analyst with 40 years of experience.